I understood from his point of view, like he's gone into a show to find someone and he did have feelings for her prior to meeting me. So I understood he wanted to.
Love Island. Are Harrison and Lauren actually together? There's something electric about the way reality TV takes ordinary people and catapults them into the spotlight, forming intense relationships under even more intense scrutiny. And when it comes to Love Island, every couple's journey becomes a shared experience for millions of viewers. In 2025, Harrison Solomon and Lauren Wood stood out not just for their undeniable chemistry, but for the drama, doubts, and unpredictability that surrounded their path. As they exited the villa, the biggest question lingered. Were they genuinely in love or just playing a game? Today we examine their love story in detail, beyond the flashy edits and pre-recorded sound bites, to uncover whether Harrison and Lauren are truly together and what their post-villa life reveals about modern love under a spotlight. Chapter 1. The Spark That Started It All. Harrison Solomon, a confident American model with a charming smile and sharp wit, walked into the Love Island villa halfway through the season and turned heads instantly. From the moment he set his sights on Lauren Wood, a fiery brunette with a no-nonsense attitude and vulnerable heart, it was clear that their connection would not be typical. Lauren, until then, had been caught in a lukewarm pairing that lacked passion. She'd spent weeks questioning if she'd ever find someone who saw her clearly. Harrison arrived with the promise of something new, something thrilling, and most of all, something real. Their initial chats seemed magnetic. Lauren, guarded and skeptical, tested Harrison with sharp questions and emotional honesty. He responded with unexpected openness. He told her he saw through the villa games and wasn't there just for screen time. Whether it was a rehearsed line or sincere truth was unclear, but for Lauren, it felt genuine. Their coupling felt like destiny in a space where relationships are often circumstantial. But with that connection came pressure, from producers, from fans, and from their fellow Islanders. Chapter 2. The Highs and the Public Fascination. During their time in the villa, Harrison and Lauren quickly became one of the most talked-about couples. Their banter, spontaneous affection, and intense late-night conversations drew both admiration and suspicion from viewers. Unlike other couples who seemed picture-perfect but bland, Harrison and Lauren were complicated. They disagreed, challenged each other, and showed their flaws on screen. Some fans saw that as the sign of a deep and authentic bond. Others labeled them toxic. Still, their highs were high. From winning couples games to romantic gestures on the terrace, the pair gave the audience moments of raw emotion that rarely felt scripted. Harrison, who once seemed like a wild card, began showing vulnerability. Lauren, often seen as stoic, opened up about her insecurities and her fear of being left behind. The public rooted for them, but also held them to impossible standards. Every interaction was dissected online. Every moment of eye contact, or the lack of it, was interpreted for hidden meanings. Despite that, they made it to the final stretch of the season. They didn't win, but they left as one of the most buzzed-about duos. Chapter 3. Post-villa pressure and the "are they?" question. Love Island romances don't end when the credits roll. If anything, the real test begins once the cameras are gone. Within days of leaving the villa, Harrison and Lauren faced an onslaught of questions. Are you officially together? Are you moving in? Was any of it real? Paparazzi followed them at airports. Fan accounts tracked their social media activity, looking for signs of authenticity. They gave interviews where they were cautious with their words. Harrison explained that they were exclusive, but not yet using labels like boyfriend and girlfriend. He talked about cultural differences. He was based in Miami, while Lauren lived in York, and how they were navigating that. Lauren, always more emotionally reserved in public, echoed his sentiments but admitted she was taking things one step at a time. She wanted to meet his family, see his world outside the villa, and ensure their relationship wasn't just a byproduct of reality TV pressure. Chapter 4. The Distance Between Them. Long-distance relationships are hard. Long-distance relationships born from reality TV, even harder. Harrison's life in Miami was a whirlwind of modeling shoots, influencer events, and social obligations. Lauren, grounded in the UK, had her own growing brand but a desire for stability. Their lifestyles were different, and so were their expectations. Reports soon surfaced that they were planning to move in together. Fans got excited when Lauren posted stories about house hunting. Harrison was seen shopping for furniture. It all felt too fast, and yet somehow not fast enough for their followers. But the questions still lingered. Were they doing this because they wanted to build a life, or because the world expected them to? The distance became a metaphor. Physically, they were continents apart more often than not. Emotionally, their connection flickered between intensely close and worryingly detached. Chapter 5: The TikTok Controversy. Every Love Island couple has a breaking point, or at least a public stumble that threatens to unravel the image. For Harrison and Lauren, that moment came in the form of a TikTok video. In a now infamous clip, Harrison accidentally called Lauren by his ex-girlfriend's name while doing a challenge. The video went viral. Comments exploded. Was it an honest mistake, or a sign his heart wasn't fully in the present? Lauren addressed it coolly in a joint interview. She said they laughed it off, but insiders hinted she wasn't as unfazed behind the scenes. Trust, once shaken, isn't easy to rebuild. And yet, they didn't break up. Instead, Harrison posted a follow-up video apologizing, explaining that fame had brought old wounds to the surface and that Lauren was the one grounding him. Some called it damage control, others saw it as a moment of growth. Either way, the incident tested them, and for many fans, it marked the moment when cracks in their fairy tale became visible. Chapter 6: Are They Just a Brand? Brand deals, paid appearances, and sponsorships are part of the post-Villa economy. Every couple gets them. But for Harrison and Lauren, the commercial aspect of their relationship raised new doubts. They launched a couples podcast. They starred in ads together. They showed up at events coordinated by the same PR agency. To some, it felt like a natural evolution. To others, it was performative. When your love is content, it's hard to know where authenticity ends and strategy begins. Some viewers noted the lack of organic, unfiltered moments between them. Others defended them, arguing that real couples work together in business too. Still, the question remained, was their connection still real, or had it morphed into a joint brand? Chapter 7: Meet the Parents. Harrison had always said he wouldn't call Lauren his girlfriend until she met his family. In July 2025, that finally happened. Photos emerged of them in Miami, smiling with Harrison's mother and siblings. Lauren looked relaxed. Harrison beamed. It was a milestone that many fans celebrated. At last, they'd crossed a threshold. Afterward, Lauren posted a heartfelt message about feeling at home and finding family in unexpected places. Harrison reshared it with a simple caption, "She's everything." But critics weren't silenced. Some questioned the timing, suggesting it was a calculated move ahead of a rumored reality spin-off. Others genuinely believed it was love deepening. What mattered more was how Lauren spoke about it later. She described the visit as a turning point, saying it helped her understand the man behind the TV persona. Chapter 8: Whispers of Doubt. Not all updates were bright. Behind the scenes, there were reports of arguments, mostly due to career choices and travel. Lauren had turned down a high-paying gig in Ibiza to spend time in Miami. Harrison reportedly had to cancel an important modeling job to meet her family. Love, it seemed, required sacrifice, but when both are chasing big dreams, whose sacrifices should matter more? There were whispers, never confirmed, about Lauren feeling insecure about Harrison's DMs, and Harrison feeling like Lauren didn't trust him. They went silent on social media for a week, leading fans to panic. Then, just as quickly, they returned with matching outfits at a brand launch, smiling for the cameras. Were they stronger than ever, or simply very good at keeping up appearances? Chapter 9: The "We're Working on It" Statement. In August 2025, Harrison and Lauren released a joint statement that felt both honest and ambiguous. They admitted they were not perfect, that the transition from villa life to the real world had been harder than expected. They said they were learning how to love outside the bubble, and that yes, they were still together, but also giving each other space to grow individually. It wasn't a breakup post, but it wasn't a love letter either. The statement sparked new debate. Was this a soft launch of a breakup, or the refreshingly realistic outlook of a modern couple refusing to pretend everything was perfect? Either way, it was clear they were done trying to appease everyone. From now on, they said, their relationship would be more private. Chapter 10: The Reality of Love in the Public Eye. At its core, Harrison and Lauren's story is about more than just romance. It's about navigating intimacy under the harsh glare of public expectation, about balancing ambition and emotion, about redefining what together means in a time when validation comes in the form of likes and retweets. They weren't the fairy tale couple. They were the real ones. The couple who fumbled, who doubted, who disagreed, but who kept showing up for each other. Maybe that's why fans stayed invested, because behind the gossip and glamour, there were two people trying their best to love in a world that constantly judged them. As of now, Harrison and Lauren are still, in their words, committed to exploring what we can become. Whether that ends in marriage or a mutual parting of ways doesn't matter as much as the honesty with which they're choosing to walk their path.